Tell me some stories, some early stories that you have about the room that might be entertaining to the fans.
Coach E was in there with us. And he was on the corner side. He was watching the film with us. And Coach Brown is like, he's like, hey Kobe, like you couldn't do this. Like this is not what you're supposed to do. Whatever. 8 caught a slant on him. And he was like, Coach, you can't. He's like, you can't do that. Whatever. And he was like, the ball was high, but if he catches it and he keeps his feet, he's gonna go score. And then Kobe was like, he ain't scoring, Coach, the ball was high. And Coach E is right there.
Who's Nation? Welcome back to another episode of The Fifth Side, presented by Corner Media. I'm your host, UVA DB Donovan Platt, and today we have a very special guest, Omillio Agard, another DB, came in this new transfer portal class. Philly product, was at Wisconsin before he came here. How you doing today, man?
I'm good, Platt. How are you, bro?
Good. Can't complain. So you've been in Charlottesville a couple months now. Tell me a little bit about how it's going and how you're adjusting.
I love it here. I feel like this is the best decision I've ever made in my life. I mean, you'd think coming out of high school that would be the best decision you made, but nah, coming here has been really good. The people are amazing. The place is amazing. It's hotter. I'm in Wisconsin. It was negative degrees, probably like 30 degrees now. So that's better. I'm closer to home, 4 hours away, so I could drive home whenever. Love the culture here. Love the brotherhood. It's real. Like on my visit coming here, they say that's what it is. I got here, it really was that. And coaches love me. Coaches love everybody. Just everything is good so far. I love it. School is harder, 100%, but it's definitely developing me into a better person in that aspect. So I love that too. So everything's just been up.
You know, speaking about the differences between, Madison, Wisconsin and Charlottesville, Virginia, tell me a little bit more about that and how that adjustment is going.
I mean, my adjustment was smooth. I never thought I'd be a transfer, but it's like high school again coming in. And I feel like coming here specifically, like the people and you and everybody, all the transfers as well, it just made it so much easier to transition. And I felt like I've been here forever. And everybody says that, but I really genuinely feel like that. But some differences, I guess, is definitely hotter. It's more quieter, it's more my vibe. Like Wisconsin was like number 3 party school in the country, so it was always something to do. This is more me.
You get in trouble.
And then, I feel like it's just the people, the culture is just like everybody loves each other and nobody's out there for themselves. And you always have somebody that you need to depend on and are there for you. So that's what I'll say is the difference here.
For sure. And, obviously we're in the midst of spring ball right now. You were able to get through some of it and, you made some plays. Tell me a little bit about, the DB room and what you've learned about it so far and the culture.
A bunch of different personalities, I'll say that. We have like Jacoby, he's gonna say whatever's on his mind. You got Bino, he's a leader and he's good. You always clowning around, joking around. So, I mean, and then you got some serious guys like Tino. But it's a big brotherhood. I love it here, man. And it's just so much talent and there's no like haterade, no anywhere. It's like everybody's here to compete. And it's just been great. Like it's been so easy to make plays out there with y'all and then celebrating with y'all. So it's been the best. Like I feel like at my old school, we were really close, but we never won. So we didn't know what it felt like to, be close and winning and stuff like that. So coming here, you guys came off a winning season. I wanted to be a part of that. And it's just, everybody's happy, everybody's smiling. Like when you win, everything's better. So that was a big thing with me coming here. And I'll say that's what I like so far about the group. But everybody, even the coaches, like Coach Brown, he's a clown. I love him, but he's real. Coach Cox, he's real. He's gonna joke around. There's just a bunch of different personalities, and it's just one big brotherhood. And like I said, there's no haterade.
For sure. And speaking about some of the different guys, who would you say has brought you into the program the most since you've been here?
I'll say I definitely spend the most time with LaChris and Kobe. But everybody, man, like I'm close with Sank. I'm close with JoJo. I'm close with Armstrong. Like I'm close with everybody, man. It's just all the people. Like I can't specifically say like one person.
And speaking about all of the people that surround our DB room here at UVA, tell me some stories, some early stories that you have about the room that might be entertaining to the fans.
Let me think, man. Let's go today. So we have an 8 a.m. in just the corners. I don't think y'all were in there today, safeties. But no, it was yesterday. It was we all were in there, and Coach E was in there with us. And he was on the corner side. He was watching the film with us. And Coach Brown is like, he's like, hey Kobe, like you couldn't do this. Like this is not what you're supposed to do. Whatever. Yeah. I think it was a slant. So 8 caught a slant on him. And he was like, Coach, you can't. He's like, you can't do that, whatever. And he was like, the ball was high, but if he catches it and he keeps his feet, he's gonna go score. And then Kobe was like, he ain't scoring, Coach. The ball was high. And Coach E is right there. You would think like somebody would have a filter with the head coach around, but nah, everybody's their old self around each other, and everybody's not gonna change who they are around anybody. But that's just the culture here. Like you could be yourself, man. And I'll say like him, he's a clown, but I love him. But
for sure. And speaking of that, being yourself, that's something that I definitely was looking for in my transfer portal process in terms of finding a school that I could have a head coach that I could relate with and somebody I could have a genuine conversation with. And Coach Elliott has been that, and I'm sure you've seen it since you've been here. Tell me a little bit more about Coach Elliott and the role that he had in your process and your decision to come here.
Yeah, so like I said, I never thought I'd be a transfer. Like I'm big on loyalty. I'm big on sticking it out. And last year I played in 11 games. I had the stats. I played really well as a redshirt freshman and everything like that. But just the culture at Wisconsin wasn't for me. And I just felt like they tolerated me. I don't feel like they really wanted me to be there. And that was hard for me. But they told me like, stay, whatever. But I just had to talk to my parents. And we thought the best option was to enter the portal. And Virginia was the first school that hit me up. And Coach Brown recruited me at West Virginia. And he was like, man, like we need you. Like we missing a piece. Like we want you to come here, and you and who we brought in and who we still have here, it could be a big thing. Like the secondary was like one of the big question marks of like other times to hear. And they said, if you bring us in, you'll complete it and we'll have the best secondary that we had since we've been here. And I was like, man, I'm gonna take the visit. I took the visit, and like Coach E told me, like, if you come here, like you're gonna feel the brotherhood, and you're gonna feel the love, and you're gonna be wanted, and you're gonna be a priority. And when I got here, people just talk. I get here, man, it's the best season ever. Like I'm 189 pounds and way bigger than what I ever was at Wisconsin. And everybody trains hard, but it's just like when you have people uplifting you, you go sky's the limit when people uplift you, man. And I just feel like I'm going to be able to max out my potential here because people care about me and people show me that I want it. And I was able to make plays in the 5 practices I had because of that. And like I work hard. Like I'm running faster than I ever have. Like Wisconsin told me I couldn't play man-to-man. Wow. Yeah. And I got here and Coach Brown is like, you're a man-to-man guy. We want you to press man. Go back to what you did in high school. Like I feel like I'm just being motivated here. Coach Smo, I came in here, I think I was like 178 coming in. I gained, what's that, 20 pounds? I mean, no, 10. So 10 pounds, So like everything's just been uplifting since I've been here, uplifting my spirit, got my confidence back. I feel like last year I wasn't playing on any confidence because my coaches didn't give it to me. And you got some confidence in yourself, but you need it somewhere, you need somebody else to always uplift you, especially your coach, like that's who you go to. So I feel like here they're doing that, and it's gonna be a great year. It's gonna be a great year.
And that's great to hear, because that's something that I feel is similar. Just a total buy-in from everybody in the program, from the support staff all the way down to really the janitors, the guys that are you see on a daily basis going around the facility. Like you said, in the weight room, Coach Harrison, he crazy.
I love Coach Harrison.
He crazy, but like he means well, and he means the best for you. And like I've even seen, how my body has changed and, put on more muscle. Like you said, been able to get faster and just been able to really push the needle towards being, the best player that you can be. And, I'm glad that you see that and you're experiencing that because it's something special. And, it just shows that Coach Elliott's vision is really, coming to fruition that he's had, since he's been here in 2021. So
100%.
Growing up in Philly, home of Meek Mill, all the, all of that. Eagles, a big, football capital, place that, has a recent Super Bowl. Tell me a little bit about, how Philly, instilled football in you growing up.
Man, it's a dog-eat-dog world over there, man. Like a lot of people are out there for themselves, and growing up in that, like you got to be grimy. You got to be a little, you got to have a little Philly grit to you.
Yeah.
And like people say it, but it's really like it's different out there, man. Like you got to be a dog. And I just grew up in a fire like my whole life, always playing the best. And like kids might not be really good there sometimes, but they gonna act like it. They gonna talk like it. And on the field, they're gonna play aggressive, and that just do something to your spirit. And you like, nah, I'm not gonna let him beat me. So there's a bunch of competition out there in every little thing. Like anything you do, getting girls, like anything you do, there's a bunch of competition there. And I feel like that molded me into the player I am. Like I know, like the 5 practice I had, like I was fiery. I'm talking smack to the coaches. I'm talking smack to the offense. And that's just how it is in Philly. Like if you don't got that dog, you're gonna get exploited. So growing up in Philly, it definitely taught me to be tougher in situations and stuff like that. So I love Philly, man. It's a little crazy, but I love it.
Yeah, for sure. And then also talking about St. Joe's Prep, where you did your three state championships. Tell me a little bit about that experience being at St. Joe's Prep.
It's like a college program. Coach Rogan over there, Coach Sugg, Coach Stratz, they treat it like a college program. And when you walk in there, when you leave there, you really become a man. Academically challenging and also on the field. My freshman year, I had Marvin Harrison Jr., Kyle McCord, Jeremiah Trotter Jr., all in the NFL. And then my class alone had, I think, 14 or 15 D1 guys, 7 Power 5. So it's a football factory, man. People were coming in and out 5 stars. And I've played with so much talent in my career. And I feel like that's what set me up to be better in college. And playing IMG, playing St. John's, playing all the schools that are good and so-called the best in the country. I don't think I ever wasn't ranked like in the top 25 of my high school career. So just playing the best competition also molded me into who I am now. Like I don't feel like I could lose to anybody. We can go against #1 player in the country as I did last year, and I proved myself. So like it molded me into the player I am for sure.
Yeah, and we'll speak a little bit about that later on in the episode about your experience versus O State. But also, going back to St. Joe's Prep, is that a school that you always knew that you wanted to go to?
Yeah, growing up, like that's a dream. Like you want to go to St. Joe's Prep. That was my dream high school, I like to say. Like there's other schools that recruited me, other schools that really wanted me, but I always knew in my heart I wanted to go there. And it all started with DeAndre Swift, who's in the NFL now. So he really started it for me and started the vision, and a lot of kids started to go to the prep because there is like hard academics in high school. Nobody really wants to do that, and it's private, and people have to pay. So to go there, you really got to be a different kind of breed, and also your parents have to be willing to, sacrifice something for you. So DeAndre Swift definitely started that dream, and it was one of the best decisions I ever made in my life.
For sure. And speaking about your parents and your family, tell me about, the sacrifice and what they poured into you to make you, buy into football and make that your vehicle to bring you to college.
Yeah, I love my parents. My mom and dad were young parents. I think they had my brother at 20, had me at 23. So they were young. They both had to drop out. My mom ended up getting her degrees, but both had to drop out and find a way. And they had 4 kids, I think, before like 28.
Wow.
So, I never knew that we were struggling. We had everything. My dad made sure I was fresh. My dad made sure I always had everything I needed for football, equipment and everything. Funny story, my mom told me I feel like a couple months ago, she was like, I was mad at your dad for like a whole month because instead of using the rent, he bought some like pads for me. That's expensive growing up and stuff like that. But nah, my dad, without him specifically, like I wouldn't be here. He put me in camps at a young age. He made me travel across the country and play the best of the best at a young age. And I can't thank him enough. And then my mom always being there for me emotionally and just being able to talk to her whenever. And regardless of football, regardless of what I was playing at the time, it didn't matter. Like she just wanted to make sure her son was okay. And then my siblings, they're my best friends. So like I got a 15-year-old sister, Halo. Eris, she's a 19-year-old sister. And then my brother's 23. He's autistic. So I feel like I was always the oldest brother and the older sibling. And that just taught me to, care for people. So shout out to them, man. But I love them so much. They're my best friends. And then a fun fact, 5 years old, I was playing basketball. When I was 6 years old, I only went to play basketball. 6 years old, my dad sent me to Enon Tabernacle. It's a church, and they had a football team. And my first day out there I think it's summer. I'm crying. I'm like, Dad, I don't want to do this. I don't want to do this. I don't want to do this. Like, I hate it. I'm crying. He's like, all right. he let it be. He always wanted me to play football. He was a basketball player growing up in New York. They didn't have football, he wanted me to try something different. He let me quit. The next year, 7 years old, I come back around. He's like, we're gonna try this again. I'm like, all right. I'm practicing. I'm loving it. Our first game ever, I touched the ball, I scored a touchdown, and from there I was like, I love football.
Yeah.
If they could find it, like I have my first practice ever, I had a Super Mario shirt over my pads. I didn't have a jersey. So yeah, that's my little story of how football started. But yeah, I played basketball first, but football, it came. It would take some time, but it came.
So you're saying, so after 5 years old, did you play basketball anymore? Or was it straight?
So I played basketball all the way till 8th grade, and then going to prep, I really didn't want to play multiple sports. I wanted to focus on one, because I know I wanted to play football, and I know I was better at it. My dad wished I still played, but yeah, I had to choose football at that point.
Yeah, for sure. And tell me a little bit about how, basketball kind of, those skills that you learned in that translated to the football field, especially as a DB.
100%. I feel like my quickness and my explosiveness and my twitchiness, like side to side laterally, I feel like that's the best. That's when I'm at my best. And I feel like basketball, guarding somebody, moving your feet, I feel like that's where it came from. So definitely my explosiveness and my side to side agility.
For sure. Because I know, where I'm from, North Carolina, we call it the hoop state. So basketball is definitely something that, obviously you got Duke, Carolina, a lot of powerhouses in basketball. Was Philly another state that had, pretty good and competitive basketball programs?
Yeah, 100%. We had a team called Team Philly. I played for them as an AAU team. They played all the top teams in the country. And then Team Final, that's a team out there too, that a lot of players, Derek Lively played there. He's in the NBA now, so. Yeah, we had a lot of competition out there, but I feel like it was a basketball state growing up, but now I feel like it's transitioned to football. We have so many guys in the NFL now, so I feel like it's a football state now.
For sure.
When the rivalry heats up, so do the specials. Game is on at Trophy Room, Charlottesville's highest rooftop bar, your go-to spot to catch every college basketball showdown. With limited time game day menus, all at the Graduate by Hilton Charlottesville, located right across from UVA's historic grounds. The Graduate brings Cavalier tradition to life with newly renovated, college-inspired interiors. Whether you're in town for a game, a weekend in Seaville, or just looking for the best view in the city, this is the place to be. Great atmosphere, great food, and a perfect home base for Wahoo fans. Check out Graduate by Hilton Charlottesville.
Spent a couple years at Wisconsin. Tell me a little bit about, the technique, the film study, and just preparing like a college DB that you learned during your time at Wisconsin.
Yeah, I had a really good corner coach there. A little older guy, so he knows football. And I feel like being there taught me more so about like technique and stuff like that. Because coming out of high school, I thought I had the best technique in the world. And then coming to college in June, and then you have OTAs in the summer, it was a big shock. I was like, it's way faster. So I feel like being there, just diving into the film room more, like spending more time in the facility. Like I feel like my first couple months there, learning the playbook, I wasn't in the facility as much. Once it was over, I left. Like now, I feel like being at Wisconsin for those 2 years, I learned how to be a film junkie. And I'm just always in the facility. Even if you're not doing nothing, just being in the facility, it do something to you. So I'm always watching film now. I'm always in there. Bring my little snacks, get something to eat, get something to drink, and you just watch film all day when you can. Now here you got a lot more class, so you don't got the time no more, but still make some time. But now I feel like being there definitely developed my football IQ and knowing what the offense is going to do, and less so what you're doing and more so how they're going to attack you. And the situational football is the biggest thing I feel like everybody as a football player should know is like situational football, how they're going to attack you. If it's third and short, they got to get to the sticks. If it's second and long, they got to get a third and manageable. So stuff like that, man. I just feel like my football IQ was, in my first 2 years of college, that's what developed.
For sure. And, pivoting to UVA, tell me a little bit about, what you've learned so far since you've been here from Coach Cox and Coach Brown.
Man, Coach Cox and Coach Brown are geniuses. Like, they know how to break it down to a level I never thought. Like, Coach Cox would tell me something that the safety's doing and how it relates to the corner, but I didn't know that it was like intertwined like that, like that. So they're geniuses, man. And I've learned so much since being here, and especially learning a new defense, like NFL style. And we run a bunch of different variations of different coverages and stuff like that. So it's definitely challenged me, but it's been really good, man. I feel like when I get to the next level, it's going to prepare me for sure, especially Coach Cox being at the next level and Coach Brown coaching there. So
for sure. And also, coming from the Big Ten to the ACC, what do you expect to be the main differences going from that conference to this conference?
Definitely more passing, more tempo. I feel like in Wisconsin there's a lot of running. I had to set a lot of edges last year, and they have great receivers there too. But I'm definitely excited for the tempo, how offenses are going to attack you in tempo. And then the passing game is more pass heavy in the ACC, which will get me more stats.
Exactly.
And everything comes down to the secondary at the end of the day. So that's more exciting, more challenges. So I'm ready. I'm very excited to see what we do.
Exactly. Like Coach Brown say, the ball is the money. And money game. That's what we are for sure. For sure. And then also, as we talked about earlier, going against Ohio State last year, great receiving core. Tell me about that experience, and what was your toughest battle and how that was.
Yeah, man, I feel like the best receiver I guarded last year was Carnell Tate. First half, I came out kind of slow. I missed a couple tackles. Carnell Tate had a fade ball. He scored it on me, and it was, I think, like the first quarter or second quarter. Came out the second half, had to regain my focus, had to lock back in. I feel like I had the best second half of my career, and got a PBU on Jeremiah Smith. Was tackling better. That game was just so fun. I love playing the best, man. So when you play against the #1 team in the country, I know they blew us out, but like it was just fun being in that atmosphere and just playing them. And I think I led the team in tackles, sacks, and pass deflections that game. So that was fun, man. That was fun. Like I love that competition.
For sure. And you talked about, situational football and schematics. Tell me a little bit more about, what you learned since you've been in college about schematics and football and the certain details and techniques that are, so crucial to being a defensive back.
It's the little things, man. Like kicking your feet 45 degrees or 33 degrees instead of going straight and side to side. Like that makes a big difference. Like it's the little things. Your hand placement when you jam and who you're reading and stuff like that, especially being here. A lot of our coverage is not gonna say too much, but it's based off the quarterback.
Exactly. Yeah.
And it's not traditional cover twos, not traditional cover threes.
Right.
We're all intertwined in the back end, so a lot of people are replacing a lot of people depending on where the quarterback is looking. And I feel like that's what makes it fun. And those little details have took me so far being here, because it's definitely not traditional in some ways. Cover two, like you got to get hands on and stuff like that, and read two. It's a little different here, so I love it, and it's definitely gonna get us paid and get more picks.
For sure.
Stuff like that.
Yeah, be able to make more plays on the ball. And that's what it's all about.
Yeah.
And also, pivoting from that is the fact that when you're able to have that camaraderie on the back end and be able to talk and understand each other in the same language, it just makes it that much better.
100%.
Yeah. Tell me your favorite coverage that you've played so far in college.
Cover one.
Cover one?
100%.
Okay.
I didn't really get to do too much at Wisconsin. They were more zone heavy. And being here, we're gonna play a lot of cover one. So that's gonna be fun, man. It's just mano y mano. Who's gonna be the better guy at that rep?
Right.
And I love that. Being on that island, you got one high safety. They know what the coverage is, and they still got to beat it. So being technical with your feet and press man, off man, that's my favorite thing to do. And then I love a cover two. Always love a cover two.
Yeah.
Got the safety over top, so you can rob everything underneath, and then you're fitting to run too. I love the tackle as well. So those are my two favorite coverages. I'll say for sure. For sure. And also speaking about cover two. There's all types of exotic cover twos that you can throw in and roll the cornerback and invert. So speaking about the Big Ten and it being a run heavy league, tell me a little bit more about the zone coverages that y'all were playing. Yeah, we were playing a bunch of inverts.
Okay.
We were playing a bunch of different variations of cover two, like a cloud, a squirm, a bunch of slice, a bunch of different variations, and a lot of it was reading the end man the line of scrimmage and fitting the run first. So definitely had a lot of bumps and bruises last year. But them linemen is big, man. But I feel like definitely a lot of cover twos, a lot of cover fours, sometimes cover threes, and cover one when we get in the red zone and stuff like that. But that's pretty much the zone coverages we played there, stuff like that.
Got you. Transitioning to off the field. Tell me a little bit about your music taste off the field. I know being from Philly, you got to have Meek Mill in your playlist. You got to. But tell me a little bit more about what you be listening to.
Yeah, man, I'm not really on the Meek wave right now.
Okay.
Yeah. He ain't dropped a minute.
Yeah, he's not really dropping.
He ain't dropped a minute, but definitely YB. YB's my GOAT. He the greatest of all time. Anybody listen? He's the greatest of all time. Young boy, ain't nobody stopping him. He's the GOAT. He better than your favorite rapper. But nah, you know how I go in the locker room, but yeah, I'm bumping YB. He been my favorite artist for a minute now. But other than him, like I listen to a bunch of different stuff. I got a little R&B into me. I got a little old soul into me. Not really in the country, but definitely some YB. Give me some trap music. Get hyped before the games.
For sure.
Turn me up, man.
For sure. And I gotta ask, are you somebody who can get down in the kitchen, or are you more so like an order out, take out?
I leave that to Mama Dukes and my sisters. I mean, I feel like my favorite food is salmon. I could cook me some salmon if I needed to, but I'm not very fond of the kitchen, man. I order some DoorDash. Like my DoorDash per monthly, like if you go check my bank account, man, that's a lot of money spent on DoorDash. But yeah, I could cook, but like I don't really like to.
That's fair. So say if you have all the DBs over to your apartment, what's the go-to meal? If you had to cook something, what would you put together?
I mean, we gonna eat some salmon then. We gonna get right to salmon, white rice, get some spinach. Spinach easy to cook. You little stir it a little bit in butter, it'd be alright. But yeah, we gonna eat that. But for real, we gonna get some Domino's, we gonna get some pizza, we gonna get some wings, we gonna get something like that.
So tell me a little bit about your hobbies, outside of football. When you wanna get away from, watching film or, being around a facility, what's something that you dive into?
I'm a real chill guy. Like, I mean, if I'm not on FaceTime with somebody, if I'm playing the game, I'm in the crib, I'm chilling. I don't really like to go out too much. But hanging out with y'all, like we went to soccer the other day. I mean, we go out a little bit. We ain't doing too much. But
it's off season.
You gotta show your face a little bit.
It's off season.
But nah, we most likely chill. I like to chill with the guys, hang out, watch some football. Like we do. We watched the girls' games a couple weeks ago. Watched the boys' games. So just chilling with the guys. That's pretty much me. Playing the game on FaceTime. I love a FaceTime.
Transitioning back to football, big season coming up. A season that is following a winning season here at UVA. One that set history, and I think, wholeheartedly we're gonna make even more history this year. Obviously going to Rio for the first game. Tell me a little bit about some of the games that you're most pumped for.
Definitely Rio for sure. We're gonna be in Copacabana. But definitely first time playing out the country. That flight is gonna be crazy though. But that's gonna be fun. ACC opponent. We gotta get Duke back. We gotta get that. Who else do I want to play for real?
You got Bill Belichick coming in the sky.
I do got some former teammates there.
Okay.
West Virginia, I got a couple former teammates there as well.
Gotta be in Charlotte. So that's another thing. Gotta get a win on that field because the last time we was there we lost. So we play in Charlotte a lot.
No, those definitely Duke. Gotta get that back. First game, NC State. And then, West Virginia, things like that.
For sure. So going into this season, I know you have personal goals, and tell me a little bit about your goals for the team here at UVA.
For the team, definitely want to win the ACC championship, get the automatic bid to the playoff, and just growing as a brotherhood. I feel like we already are really strong in the spring, but keep developing that into the summer and then the fall camp, and then I feel like we'll be unbeatable. And then my personal goals, definitely want to be all ACC. I want to be first team corner. I want to be all American throughout the whole country. And then like some stats, like I definitely want to get at least like 3 picks, couple tackles. And then probably like double-digit PBUs, man. And then if I could go to the NFL next year, I definitely want to. No point in waiting if you don't have to. But nah, man, I definitely just want to get to the playoffs. If we get to the playoffs, then everything else will come. And that's something that, we've made an emphasis on in the program, especially with Coach Elliott, talking about, one, that competitive depth and that competitive stamina, having, enough, motivation and just players that can go for 16, 17 games. And that's something that's huge, and, why we brought, guys like yourself in, because, we're going to need everybody in this journey. And, we plan on playing a long time, way into January. So, I'm excited for the ride, and I think we really had a team this year to do something really special, even more special than we did last year. What other message do you have for the fans? Why they should be excited that you chose Charlottesville? I feel like I just bring good energy. I'm a good vibe. Like I'm always smiling. Just happy in general. We gonna win some games. Make some plays for y'all. Get the crowd wild. And then I'm just a good person, and then I'm very approachable. So if you see me outside, say what's up. But yeah, no, just a good spirit, good soul, great teammate, great player for the coaches, and just I'll be fun to watch, and we all would be, and look forward to a great season.
Well, Mill, I appreciate you coming through, man.
Appreciate you, bro.
You know, finally got you on the show.
Yeah.
Thank you guys for tuning in to another episode of The Fifth Side, presented by Corner Media. Hope you guys enjoyed. We'll be back for another episode soon.